Hey, it's Zach, America's Authority on Vital Living. And today I have a question from Jake, new member of Team Vitality, and he asked me what I thought about intermittent fasting. So, we have the fast talk today. I'm going to talk about four main things. Now, intermittent fasting to start, it's basically doing nothing. You just don't eat once or twice a week for 18 to 36 hours. Now, there's a huge amount of research on all the stuff this can do, and I'm not going to be able to tell you all of it in this little video. So, the basics are that you're not eating anything, so your hormones have to change to start releasing energy from stored places, primarily from fat cells. This is going to do two main things. First, you're going to be burning more fat, which is a lot of people think is awesome. But second, your body likes to store a lot of toxic materials that it comes across and hide them in fat cells so they don't hurt your organs or anything important. So with fasting, you're going to be releasing some of that. Now, since it's intermittent, short amount of time, it's not going to make your blood too toxic, but it happens and it's good to kind of detox a little bit. Now, also, it affects your genes. So you're going to have an effect where you produce more proteins that are going to spare your muscle. So in this short amount of time that you're without food, you can still be strong enough to fight off a threat or like climb a mountain for food or something like that. It's typically over longer periods of time that you're going to be burning protein in muscles for fuel. So you don't really have to worry about wasting away. In fact, you get a little bit of a spike in testosterone and human growth hormone when you intermittently fast once or twice a week because you're undulating the calories and it's just keeping your body on its toes pretty much. So your hormonal profile is very similar to when you exercise. You know, you get more cortisol, more epinephrine for mobilizing that energy, those fats, to spare carbohydrates for emergencies. You're getting an increase in those anaerobic hormones for the testosterone, DHA, and the human growth hormone. And at the same time, you're building up these hunger hormones. So your ghrelin is increasing, which is produced when your stomach is pretty much empty and says that you want food. It's also produced habitually. So if you see a commercial with some tasty food in it, you're going to be starting to produce some ghrelin, which is annoying. And it affects this whole cascade. So, for example, it affects your brain chemistry as you produce something called neuropeptide Y, which accumulates and presses on you to eat more food. And so, food is important and you need to eat it to stay alive, which is why your body wants you to keep eating. But it could also lead to some common pitfalls. If you keep accumulating these hunger signals, you may just kind of binge after your fast, which really kind of defeats the whole purpose of intermittent fasting. A bigger issue is that your diet sucks in the first place. So if you're not drinking enough water, if you're not eating enough vegetables, if you're not getting in your fiber, your right amount of protein, fats, carbohydrates, stuff like that, then you have no business to be fasting in the first place. It's really an advanced technique for burning more fat, detoxifying the body, and becoming more resilient in general on a cellular level. Also, the third common pitfall is that caloric restriction in general is a stress on the body. So if you have too much stress on the body, it's just going to beat you down instead of having a little stress and then becoming stronger from it. So, for example, if I do a bicep curl with 40 pounds, that's enough stress that it works the muscle, it breaks it down a little bit, and then I could heal and get stronger and recover. But if I try to pick up 400 pounds, I could, tear my bicep in half, and that would really suck. And so having, not getting enough sleep, working out pretty heavily in the gym, having difficulty in relationships or a lot of stress at work, all these little things can add up. And if you add intermittent fasting on top of that, it can just push you over the edge and not help you recover and really beat you up, lead you to getting colds and flus and getting sick all the time and feeling terrible. It's very similar to overtraining. And yeah, so let's avoid all of that stuff and take some action. So first, I don't care how much you want to start intermittent fasting. If your diet isn't dialed in to at least the basics, so eating 5 to 9 fruits and vegetables a day, drinking your 9 to 13 cups of water, getting in 35 grams of fiber, keeping your sodium between 1500, 2300 milligrams a day, all of that kind of basic stuff, you need to have that dialed in, because when you're fasting and eating less, what you eat matters more. So for number 2, after getting your diet in check, you want to progress to getting used to feeling hungry during your fast. And then once you get used to it, you're just going to feel more energized and more focused and things like that. But there is a little bit of a transition. So what a good way to kind of ease into it is to push your breakfast back 2 hours once a week on your fast day. And so you're going to sleep at night and getting all of those fasting hours from the last time you ate till the new day. And you're just kind of increasing that time slightly. So let's say you eat dinner at 8 and you usually eat breakfast at 6 before you go to work. Well, instead of eating breakfast at 6, eat breakfast at 8 in the morning. And so that's 12 hours. And then you can progress to eating at 10. Then you could progress to just eating lunch. And so over time, you can work your way up to a full 24-hour fast. Or you could stick to the 18 hours. You could go to 36 hours, but it's just going to be a few more hours. So there's no need to go crazy with it. Then I want you to be realistic and take stock of what's going on in your life and be honest with yourself. That if you're not feeling yourself, if you're something in the gym that was once easy is becoming more difficult, if you're waking up and falling right back asleep, if you just feel stressed in general, then intermittent fasting isn't something you should jump right into. You should really focus on managing that stress in your life, improving your diet, maybe taking it easy in the gym for a week, then jump into intermittent fasting. And so there's a whole lot to cover. I want to give you the basics and a few tips. So feel free to comment below, like and share the video. But yeah, comment, ask questions. If you have anything particular that you want me to cover about intermittent fasting, if you just want to send me typical hateful YouTube comments, that's cool too. But yeah, anything you like. Have a good one. Bye.